Well, a huge welcome from all of us here at Kitchwin Hills to the 2022 Graff Parade. Bit of a parade with a difference. Who'd bring a stand to the pub? Well, that's Kitchwin style. Beautiful wood fires, roast beef, rolls, great dye brown soup. Just exactly what we're all about. So Graff, for so many stands these days are set a race to secure a sale tag or their stand career. Well, Graff's owner, Alan Bell, is a racehorse purist. Graff dodged nobody. When Graff returned as an undefeated 2-year-old, his assignments were clear: race the best, and that he just did. Graff had 7 starts as a 3-year-old in the best company and the best races possible. After being undefeated at 2, as I said, he trounces them first start back as a 3-year-old in the San Domenico by 2.5 lengths. It's a prestigious race that's been won by stallions over the years like Sir Dapper, General Nadim, Almayske, Testarossa, Dewporth, Charge Forward, and recently a horse like Star Turn, Exceedance, Andes in the Congo. Next run of the Roses. Just went down to Lean Machine. Then onto the Golden Rose, widest and last to turn, beaten a length by Superstar in the Autumn Sun. This is the race that Chris Lees cringes about. It was no doubt in the Lees camp, if Jason Collett had got this right, Graff isn't standing at 13,200. On to the Everest. The first 3-year-old to contest the Everest. Started second favourite off the back of his amazing Golden Rose run, draws the outside barrier on a heavy 9, enormous run as a 3-year-old, rattling home for 5th. Next start, the Group 1 Lightning, beaten 0.9 of a length won by In Her Time. On to the Group 1 Newmarket, beaten a length, won by Sunlight. So I'll repeat, as a 3-year-old, Graff contests 7 races. The San Domenico, the Run of the Roses, the Golden Rose, the Everest, the Lightning, the Newmarket, and then the Galaxy. 4 Group 1s and an Everest as a 3-year-old. As I said, unlike so many other horses, Graff dodged nobody. Chris Lees, Jamie, and the Australian bloodstock form guru Luke Murrell believes if they had avoided the Everest, but how could you possibly have avoided the Everest after his run in the Golden Rose and a $13 million carrot? I get why they went, but the team believe he wins a Group 1 sprint. Not hard to believe knowing how close he came in both the Lightning and the Newmarket post his Everest run. After a hard-fought 3-year-old career, he shows his longevity and soundness, toughness, and to withstand all Australian racing can throw at him, to come back and win a Group 2 sprint as a 4-year-old at Caulfield. Now, we often frown upon stands racing into their later years, but for me and the ever-changing market, longevity is posing key. The one-trick ponies of 2-year-old speed isn't holding up as we'd hoped. Take a look at stands like Vinny, So You Think, Street Boss, Nakoni, Deepfield, Maurice, Toronado, even horses like Spirit of Boom. They all dominate the top 10 stands list and race beyond 4 and often beyond 5. And I think Spirit of Boom retired as a 7-year-old. And look at his progeny. They're just racing right on with it. And it makes sense. It's hard to be dominant in this game, but even harder if you only have the one trump card. Graff showed precocity and wait for age Group 1 ability right through to an older horse and retired sound. Star Witness, interesting sire line. And let's look, there's only one other son of Star Witness at stud in Star Turn, risen to 27,500 this season and sees a full book of mares. Star Turn has had a super start in Australia, already a Group 1 winner in Star Dentes and 11 other stakes horses. And what's really interesting with Star Turn is how he's going in Hong Kong. A heap of winners, a Group 3 winner already. Hong Kong actively sought after Star Turn's grandfather and Graff's grandfather in Starcraft. Then their sire in Star Witness. Progeny now, and now they're chasing Star Turn. This is another tick for Graff, knowing how Hong Kong actively chased sire lines when Graff's progeny hit the yearling market. Graff's all but a replica of Star Turn. Both by Star Witness, both high-class 2-year-olds, both won the San Domenico, both won Group 2 Caulfield sprints over 1,100 metres, Both ran second in the Run to the Roses Group 2, both Group 1 placed as 3-year-olds, and both purchased by Alan Bell. And most importantly, both get the opportunity to breed what works here in Australia, maternal daughters and granddaughters of Danehill. Don't overlook this. It's all but an unfair advantage. And dare I say it, Graff has a better female line, and dare me say it, I reckon he's a better looking horse. Stallions need all that I've mentioned, but with that, they need support. And Graff's soaked in support. Some of the biggest yearling buyers in Australia call Graff theirs. Graff all but has his own buying bench. Australian bloodstock and all the numbers of yearlings they buy. We know they buy, 20, 30, 40, 50 yearlings a year. Kitchman Hills and the many clients and syndicates we buy for, from My Runners to the Racing League, Colin Madden, Neil Werrett, Max Whitby, and so many others. We sold a fair few breeding rights in this horse, and I got a few quotes from the guys that bought into these breeding rights. Wayne Bedgegood at Crestfield Stud. Graff on type is a replica of a stallion I worked and loved years ago called Snippets. Graff had speed and toughness. I had to buy a breeding right. Ron Gilbert, one of the best breeders in the country. Genetics play a big role in what I do. Graff complements so many mares. 2-year-old, type, speed. The breeding right made commercial sense. Mick Towdy. We know how well Mick Towdy goes down there at Eden Glassy. I had a good look at Graff in Queensland and loved him on type. He was a brilliant sprinter, so we bought a breeding rights. Ian Smith at Edinburgh Park. A breeding right made commercial sense. Graff gets every chance. We all know Australian bloodstock and Kitchman and their associates buy plenty of yearlings. Good sort, Aussie speed. Yarran Park's Harry Mitchell. I really like Graff. Star Turn's doing a great job. Graff was fast and is obviously a super looker. New Haven Park's John Kelly bought a breeding right. Graff has those credentials that often work and buyers want. Turn of foot, outcross, suits so many mares, and Star Turn started so well. Adds to Graff's chances. And if temperament plays any role, of which we all know it does, having a look at him here tonight, walking around, is one hell of a tick. We've had a number of foals hit the ground, and Graff's new motto is Graff, headquarters for hindquarters. I'd like to thank all of the Kitchman staff who contributed to this beautiful night. Look how well he looks out there. A big rap to Billy, who's just prepared him perfectly for the night. Oscar and Fiona, Toppy and John, who've just set the whole night up for us. Graham Brown, Di Brown, Bo, Jenny Brown, who've done all this magnificent food that everyone's loved. Kate, Pauline, just thank you for all you do, and all of the Kitchman staff. And a huge thank you to Dan and Max at the Lingalonga Hotel who have helped us enjoy this opportunity down at this lovely venue. Thank you very much for coming.